Converting word problems into formulas can be pretty tough, and this is definitely no exception. But let's focus on what we do know in this question. And what we do know is that we have some average pages per day. And whenever I look at averages, I'd rather prefer to look at totals. So I converted 90D, which is 90 per day times the number of days, to equal the total number of pages that she needs to read. Now, if I look at the other information, we have 75 pages per day at first. And then after that time has passed, she has 6 more days to read 690 more pages. So the number of days she must have used while reading at 75 pages per day could be represented as D minus 6, which would leave 6 left over for the other 690 pages. So I'm focusing on total. I know that this is how many days she spent reading 75 pages per day. So the total number of pages she would have read in that time is 75 times D minus 6. And then add to that the 690 pages she has left, and that should equal the total number of pages she needed to read from the very beginning. So if we walk through this formula, we have 75D minus 6 times 75, which is 450. 2 times 75 is 150. Times 3 is 450, so that's how we get there quickly. And then we add 690, and we're supposed to get 90D out of this. Subtract 75D from both sides, leaves 15D on the right, and then add the negative 450 and the 690. That will give us 240 on the left here. Now you could divide both sides by 3 to start, or divide both sides by 5. If we divide both sides by 3 here, I know that 3 goes into 24 8 times, so that would give us 80, and we'd have 80 equals 5D, and then that means that D equals 16, because 80 over 5 is the same as 160 over 10. Multiply the top and the bottom by 2 whenever you're dividing by 5, and it'll make life easier because you can just divide by 10 and cross out the zeros. So D equals 16, and that gives us answer choice B. So again, the hardest part here is just knowing what to do. Focus on total. It's a lot more difficult to work with. It's a lot harder to work with averages in general than it is to work with totals. So if you see averages, think about the total. It's hard here because we don't know how many days she read 75 pages per day for, but we do know that if we bring in a variable of D for the total number of days, we could represent that as D minus 6. And that's basically the big jump that you need to make in order to solve this question.